Welcome to Love at First Mic with Demi York and Alex Alvarez.
Let's put this on camera. So today we're talking about a lot of some fun stuff, but we're going to start here with one of my worst Tinder dates. Now, she was a lovely lady. Okay. The pictures, I'm just going to be upfront and honest, absolutely deceitful. Absolutely deceitful.
Liar!
But
we've all been on those dates,
but the conversation was good. Everything was chill. We were having a good time. And then we get to the part of our first meetup. We go to LACMA, we go to the museum, and
Oh, you had an artsy date.
Oh, always do. I have a thing. When I'm really interested in someone, I take them to very specific places to see if it's going to work. I know. And it's worked out.
My LACMA lamppost test.
This is worked. Yeah, my LACMA litmus test. But it's worked. Anyway, she didn't look like her pictures, and that's fine. I'm not tripping. But what really upset me...
Was she still pretty?
She was pretty. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely pretty.
Okay.
And active. And it's not me trying to shame her or anything. It was just like...
You were just like, whoa.
I was like, okay, different.
Okay, yeah, a little odd.
But the conversation was still there.
Yeah.
So it was like, let's do this LACMA thing. So we start going around the museum. And then the first exhibits, some German artwork. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know this. And I know this person, Kandinsky. And I'm like, we're kind of going through the exhibit. But every conversation I've had with her of like, hey, how does this make you feel? Oh, same as you. So you let that go for the first few.
Yeah, because you're like, they're still getting to know me. Maybe they don't really understand art.
We get to some easy stuff. And I don't expect anyone to be a historian, but we get to some easy shit. And we talked about this, but we got to the blow up animals.
Oh, yeah, the
right?
Kunzes.
Exactly.
Kunz is the easiest to be like, oh my God, look how fun.
Yeah. And you would think I want it. Yeah. Anything.
I want a big one in my house.
And so in my mind, I'm like, oh, these are pretty cool photos because you look at these reflections we're getting. And she's like, yeah, I've never seen a toy like this before. I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, it's a piece. It's not a toy.
No, it's still crazy. It's almost like it's a very expensive art piece.
Right. So that's the conversation we're getting into. And then she hits me with but it kind of I think I feel how you feel about it. And I was like, wait, what does that mean? So that was the whole date. It was just her feeling what I feel. Which would be a good date for most people.
For a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. That guy I matched with on Hinge, he would have loved that. He would have been like, oh, thank God. A woman with sense. Oh my God. It's about time.
Do you own this museum?
No. I don't know. I can't stand so many things about modern dating. It pisses me off so bad. You know how many times my biggest test is, are you kind to service people?
Ooh.
If you believe that service people should just be at your beck and call, I'm going to hate you by the end of that dinner. I'm going to want to take my fork and stab you in the eye.
Give me the worst one. What's the top pet peeve at date, service area, or seeing anyone else do it? It doesn't even have to be a date. Seeing your neighbor do it.
The amount of people who don't say please any longer. I love that Moose has suddenly decided to be active.
Yeah, Moose is in the show.
Baby. She's just adventuring.
We'll introduce Moose.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
I love it when people are overly kind to service people.
Okay.
Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I am like that. I'll say please, I'll say thank you for anything I ask for. It doesn't matter. I'll be like, oh my God, thank you so much. You would have thought that you had brought me a check for $1 million the way that I'm going to thank you. Because I know that you have people who are rude and are not being polite and are not saying please and thank you and are not tipping you and are being cunts.
Yeah, yeah.
And I can't stand that. So when I go on a date with someone, and I literally had a guy once who went, you don't have to say please and thank you for every little thing. I'm sorry. Where were you raised? Because my mother would have whooped my fucking ass.
Yeah.
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 That's a no for me.
My mom would have stopped me mid-movement and said, what do you say?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're reaching for that drink that person just brought you? Did you say thank you?
Yeah.
Did you say please?
No.
No.
Of course not. Did you what did you tell him?
S'il vous plaît, merci beaucoup. Say it in a different language. Say it all.
But did you tell him why you had to say that? Or like, did you just kind of let that go too?
Oh, no. I went, oh, that's crazy, because the way I was raised is that you always say please and thank you when people are doing things for you.
Exactly.
Whether or not it is their job.
Oh yeah. I say thank you to the first server, the third server, the fifth server, the guy who's covering.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly start to freak out when I'm like, well shit, that second guy did help. And one could even say slightly more than the other person. Do I tip both of them now?
Do I slip him a $5 on my way out the door,
Is
even
that
though
too
I know
cheap?
it wasn't his table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm like, man, I don't know.
Have you ever not tipped?
Yes.
There are 2 instances in my whole life that I've not tipped.
There's a handful, but I know them
and
all.
I know them.
I know them all. Yeah.
I know them. Like
I
can list them in my brain. Like, and one of them was just like, and you know what? I didn't tip the main server, but I slipped a 20 to the busboy who did everything.
Yeah.
So one of them, I guess, doesn't count. I just tipped the person who actually did the work.
But you tip. That's fine.
But and then the one was just so bad.
Please
one was so bad.
Please tell me more.
So I went to this like very nice restaurant here in LA, and I'm thinking, cool, great. I went by myself.
Yeah.
I like to take myself out to little nice fancy dinners.
As one should.
I get myself a little dressed up, and then I'm going to go have an espresso martini and some pasta.
Oof.
By myself.
I'm going to be awake and drunk.
I'll be awake and drunk. Yeah. And full of carbs. So I literally, I sit down and like, I get it. Like, you weren't thinking, oh, I'm going to make a lot of money off this person. Like, I get it. I've worked in service a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say I had to beg to get anything delivered to this table, I had to stop the hostess and be like, hi, could I just like order a drink 20 minutes after being sat?
And this is like to be your like treat yourself moment.
Yeah,
right?
this is my I got my nails done today, and I'm gonna treat myself to a nice dinner without any other people.
No repercussions.
Yeah,
I don't have to
Nobody's
be
gonna
anywhere.
sit here and judge me for how many espresso martinis I have.
Maybe normally 20 minutes isn't a big deal.
Yeah,
in a group setting.
When you have friends. But I didn't even bring a book, so I couldn't even be like, ooh, I'm just reading away.
Yeah.
No, so I'm just sitting there like a doofus.
Yeah,
waiting. Like a just waiting.
Politely waiting.
Just politely
for
waiting.
Any server.
And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just scroll through my phone. But then I'm like, I don't want to look like I'm not ready to order, or like I'm too busy to order. And like, there's no place in front of me. The server knows it's just me.
Yeah.
So the server finally comes over and goes, oh, I heard you wanted to order. And I went,
dang.
Yeah.
That's how it was relayed. That's how it was relayed.
Yeah. I was like, I was like, sorry. Because of course, chronic people pleaser. Thank you. Complex trauma. So I was like, oh yeah, sorry. Could I just please get like a glass? I don't even have water. I was like, can I get a glass of water and an espresso martini? So, please, hey, can I have some water?
Yeah. How much do I owe you?
Yeah.
So just start the service.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was awful, and the whole night just continued that way. It was a 2-hour dinner by myself.
No fucking way.
Yeah. And like I tried so hard to be so nice, and like even the manager like apologized to me. And I was like, oh, so y'all knew.
Yeah.
Y'all knew you've been fucking up.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's a good segue. People and things, things that like kind of are these red flags in our day to day. The little misnomers that we kind of look over when it's just like, on any other day, this wouldn't bug me, but today it's bothering me.
Today it's going to be a no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that's just how we approach watching movies together too. It's
true.
Going to be a no.
It's going to be a no.
The movie before it even starts, the trailer. No.
No. I actually don't. It's so funny because like I love film so much.
Yeah.
But I'm also the biggest hater.
Okay.
Like I'll sit there and I'll be like, suspension of disbelief, my ass, Hollywood. This would never fucking happen.
And this is how you know the show's going to be 5 hours long. So we're going to rip apart everything.
Break it down scene by scene. Oh my God. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to Love at First Mic. I'm Demi York.
I'm Alex Alvarez.
And we're really excited to do this. So do you want to give a breakdown?
Yeah. I think with any like new project,
we gotta let them know.
Let's just start with where we were. Like, how do we know each other? Luckily,
well, Alex is here at Patty Cash and helps produce and run my other show, Stoner Origin Stories, which you should also check out, which is a lot of fun.
Stoner Origin Stories is probably one of my favorite shows that we shoot here.
It's fun.
I love being a part of that project, but in that time that we've shot all those episodes, you and I have been secretly kind of like
kicking it
and developing this thing that is Love at First Mic.
Yeah, because and it all kind of started because one day we were just sitting there and we were just like,
mad.
We were just mad. Yeah. Like when a movie got brought up, we're like, oh, fuck that movie.
Fuck the lead actor. Fuck the lead actor's dog.
Fuck the waiter.
Like, who brings drinks out like that?
Who does that?
You wait at least 20 minutes before a drink comes to the table.
Jesus. Don't you know she wants to be alone? Yeah.
They brought a book. They're busy.
They're busy. She's reading.
Growth and nurture. Cheers.
Oh my gosh, Nostrovia.
Yeah.
But we have been kicking this around for a while. And we finally were like, we have to make time to do this because it's such a fun idea. So basically, we are going to be breaking down our favorite and least favorite rom-coms, and everyone else's favorite and least favorite rom-coms. And we thought...
Arguably.
So we thought, why not start with a Christmas classic that everybody seems to love, but we fucking hate.
Absolutely. Absolutely hate this movie.
So bad.
It's not good.
And the more you watch it, the more you hate it.
I mean, preface it, right? How many times have you seen this movie? Just up to this show. Just up to this show.
Just up to this show?
Like within the last month. Let's just be nice.
In the last month, I've watched it 5 times.
I've watched it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Now. And I think because I was like,
I really want to make sure that I well round my opinion on this. And I was trying to get a different takeaway. I just never got one.
I try to be hopeful. I've been, as we talk, I've had many a partner.
Yeah.
And this movie comes up regularly. So
people love it.
I try to give it its fair shake.
This is like a movie that like people watch with their mom at the holidays. That drives me nuts.
For 3 hours too to top it up.
It's so long.
It's so long. We don't need all these stories.
It's just a long... Okay, we should probably tell them what it is.
I think it's time.
Yeah. So we will be covering today in our inaugural episode, Love Actually. Which the best part of the whole... Who's your favorite character?
Honestly, not Harry, obviously. And we'll get into that. But I don't blame Harry for a lot of things. It's a rough time for him. No,
he's not doing well, but that's okay.
Name's escaping me. Who travels to the United States? Who's got a big dong?
I hate Colin.
I think he's the most authentic.
Colin, I am a sex god. You know what? I think it's because he reminds me of my ex-boyfriend.
That's fair.
The British one that I was dating. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's just because of that, because I feel like that was that man's mentality when he came to the States. I need to stop dating British people is really what it comes to.
Or people named Colin.
Huh?
I
know. I'd literally die. I mean, the man comes to America because of a Girls Gone Wild commercial.
When I was in junior high, I used to
stay. That's why I wanted to go to college.
I used to stay up at 4 a.m. for that commercial, and now we welcome.
Moose.
Hi, Moose.
Don't moon the people. Yeah.
This channel's not for kids. Let's be honest.
I love that you're sitting like a person.
Give him a mic. Yeah, no, the only reason why I like him as a character and that whole thing, the playfulness of it, I feel like it is a nod to the silliness of the movie. I think it's the most honest representation of how bad this movie is.
I think, okay, so I don't mind his storyline about going to America. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. Cool. I get it. Oh, I'm going to do really well with my accent. Yeah, great. Good for you, Colin. You know what I can't stand is how fucking terrible he is to British women. Like, I get it. You think that they're snobby bitches, but do you really think that you're going to get that woman's attention by being like, yeah, the food here is shit. Oh, you're a cook. Bitch, put 2 and 2 together. Oh, I didn't turn it down, actually. Yeah, no, she didn't. Not one second did she turn down that snack. Also, you took it out of your mouth and put it back on the tray, and you went, I wonder why this woman doesn't want to put her vagina on my face.
I'm trying to go through the motion of like, why does this sound like a restaurant we were just at?
But really, though.
Yeah. It's like, wait a second. Maybe that waiter wasn't really nice.
Maybe
he was just being a dick.
He's just a cunt. That's so wild. I
think I love him for the playfulness. I love him for the song, and I think that's the part I look forward to when I watch the movie. And that may say a lot about me. You know, I look forward to his scene.
Okay. I guess I think I also have a thing about his mouth.
That's a fair point.
It's a little bit trouty.
Ooh. It's just like this very loud.
Yeah. Like,
are you yawning or are you acting?
Yeah. And he always seems to lead with his teeth.
All right. Now I have to get into it though, but what's your favorite story? Like mine off the top is sorry, names escaping me, but like the stand-in actors.
Oh my God, Martin Freeman.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, his character and I don't even think they give her name. Do they?
I want to say they exchange names because that's what makes the scene cute, but I don't remember right now.
Yeah, and then he asked to like, he's like, oh, let me warm up my hands. Yeah. You know what?
The most genuinely thing ever.
That whole storyline teaches more about consent than my sex education class ever did.
Holy shit.
Like the amount of times that Martin Freeman's character is like, is this all right? Even though it's literally his job. And like, that just goes to say, Martin Freeman would be a fire intimacy coordinator on set.
Go on.
Oh, no. I love that storyline. I think that one is really sweet. I think that's one of the most wholesome in the whole film.
I think it's an actual love story. I think it's a meet cute. I think it's everything it needs to be. I think if they did 2 more hours based on just them, maybe not 2 hours, hour and a half. It'd be funny.
I just love that he randomly knows someone at this middle school and is at this play and brings this girl from work.
We're not even there yet, and I'm already upset.
Yeah.
We're not even there yet, and I'm already upset.
It's like what? But I do like that storyline. But for me, I think my favorite is definitely Liam Neeson. His character and his stepson Sam.
Oh,
because it's gut-wrenchingly awful. Like it's just like let's just like talk about the start of this movie. Okay. Like it's supposed to be heartwarming. You have Hugh Grant and a voiceover. Just like, oh, if you go to the Heathrow arrivals terminal, you'll actually see that love is all around.
This exoticness about travel, by the way, issues, but go on.
Yes. And so you're sitting there and you're like, okay, Hugh Grant, hot, sexy voice. And this is Hugh Grant, like peak Hugh Grant. Yeah. He's at the height of his powers.
Yeah.
This is not Hugh Grant in The Gentleman being a pervy reporter.
GQ is probably around the corner. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Sexiest Man Alive is
He's stuck in that heartthrob mindset.
Yeah.
And then you go to Colin Firth, who is literally being cheated on.
Yeah. You just open right into it, right?
It just like it's like he goes to this wedding and he comes back at half, like before, like he's missing cocktails to check on this bitch. He's missing cocktails. And he's so happy. He's the lady of the house let you in. She's such a good what does he call her? Oh, she's such a charming girl or something like that. Bitch. And then she just yells from the back room, come on, big boy.
Yeah. I think
What?
when I first saw this movie, I like really didn't understand the concept of cheating, right?
Yeah.
And I think that kind of goes to like love movies in general. Like they do propose these concepts that we aren't fully understanding when we watch them. And we can list 101 movies we
Again,
saw.
educate you better than a sex ed class.
Exactly. Yeah, there's emotion, there's things like that.
At least in the American system.
Yeah. As I watched that movie, I realized, I'm like, oh yeah, it's kind of sad. Like my dating life, like, it's pretty normal. I get it. I know exactly what happened here. I know exactly what's going on. You don't even need to know what's going to happen because the lead-in is, it gets darker and progressively darker. Like, uh-oh.
You're like, oh no.
He's going back home to check on, uh-oh. And the movie sets you up to be upset. And yet people love it.
Yeah. Like literally the beginning of this film is a heartbreak.
Yeah.
But you love Colin Firth. So you're rooting for him. And you're like, he's going to get back on his feet.
Hope he comes back.
When I see him again, he's going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm sure. And then, I think the worst part about that is that he's like trying to get his brother on board to do something nice for their mom. And you're like, oh, and he loves his mother? What does this bitch see in his brother?
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to care about mom. Dick. I don't know.
You know what? Let's delve into her a little bit. Where do you think that comes from? Obviously, they don't explain it in the movie.
I have no idea.
It's the holiday.
I can't say that I've ever been compelled to sleep with a partner's sibling.
Gosh, someone's gonna watch this later. I don't find my partner's siblings revolting in any way. Any of them. It doesn't cross my mind.
I found a few of my partner's siblings revolting.
Fair enough.
I'll say it with my chest. I'm not afraid. They know who they are.
Yeah.
They know who they are. I hate them.
Fair enough. They are the Colin.
They are the Colin.
With the trout mouth.
Yeah. Trout mouth. Literally, he has trout mouth.
No, I get it. I'm with you. I'm not saying I love this character anymore. I just enjoy. I did love him at the beginning.
You're like, because
now I'm comparing it. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we wake up, we get into a cheating scene pretty quickly, and I think the movie just kind of goes into this like
it's like a constant rhythm of like we're just gonna throw you into these new stories. It's like these little vignettes that are like showing you in, right? And I think what we've talked about that we think is probably one of the most problematic.
I'm so ready.
Is Keira Knightley's character.
So many problems. And I think that's where my anger comes from because it's not just the character. It's
the fact she was what, 16?
I think so, 16, 17.
16, 17 when she shot this movie. So she's 16, 17.
Yeah.
Supposed to be at least in her mid-20s. At least.
I don't even want to get into mid-20s getting married, but go on.
Yeah. I mean, God, I hope so. I hope she's not supposed to be like 18 marrying this man who's clearly in his 30s.
Because she ain't 30 in this.
She ain't 30 in this. There's no fucking way. Yeah. Also, there's like, oh, God. She is just like, God bless her. I love Keira Knightley. I think she's a fantastic actress. Black Swan. Oh, that's not Natalie Portman. No, that's not Natalie Portman.
You're thinking Star Wars.
I'm thinking Star Wars. Star Wars? I'm thinking Pirates of the Caribbean. What else has she been in?
Fyra. That's always my favorite scene of hers.
Yeah?
It's like that. It's that thing that everyone's like, oh, she says Fyra, but she's really saying Fireall. Sorry, I don't know why that's like if you watch it, I don't know why this is like a popular thing for me. Like, hey guys, look at this dumb clip.
Hey, have you ever seen this really odd outtake from Star Wars?
Oh my God, what a troll.
Oh my God.
We should do that.
That would be fun.
Clip it.
Clip it. But
Keira Knightley in Star Wars. But it's pirates.
She's a problem in itself in that whole storyline, right? But then you look at the actual story in that storyline, which is so much more fucked. Because they really, really set it up for you to think that Mark, the best friend, is gay. Like the whole way through at the beginning.
Fair enough. I actually never have seen it in that kind of light, but now I'm replaying it a little and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, he's the mysterious friend that doesn't have a partner. You're right.
He's the mysterious friend that doesn't have a partner, who does all these elaborate things. He works in the art world. Oh. They like give him every single stereotype to be gay. And he's even asked by, what's her name? Mm-hmm. The girl with the brother who has like a schizoaffective disorder.
Oh, goodness gracious. now I'm stuck on
She's
Andrew
been in a
Lincoln,
million things.
Yeah.
But she even asked him at the wedding, and she's like, oh, are you in love with him?
Oh, that's right.
And he's like, no. And then they changed the subject to like, oh, isn't this the worst DJ in the world?
Yeah.
So then it still even seems like he's just like in the closet. And it's not until he goes to get the tape, or she goes to get the tape from him,
that she realized that he's
that
not
she
gay.
realizes that.
I know that's the big aha moment. And every part of me also throws me off about that. Can we just talk about storming into your best friend's house and like just looking for shit that isn't yours yet?
Oh, and not even your best friend. Your husband's
oh
best
yeah,
friend.
exactly. Yeah. More specific, right? Like the idea that like I would never barge into your home. I don't care how close
I
we
brought
are.
you this pie.
I'm looking for my wedding tape.
I just want, she's like, oh, I just want a photo of me where I don't look blue. Because I guess their tape came out blue, which I find very hysterical.
I also like to imagine, if I can't remember what he was holding then, but I still imagine a VHS camcorder style. Just like
yeah, no, he has like a little handheld.
That's right, yeah.
Little handheld baby.
Can we talk about that too? The footage that we see. All right. I'm not trying to be a dick.
Coming. There's no way that that's coming from that little handheld camcorder. That is clearly a Panavision situation.
But like, can you imagine the conversation? Yeah, man, I'll bring my camcorder. I'll come like film some shit.
Yeah, I'll be your best man, but I'm also gonna film the wedding.
And then he hooks it up with the choir and the gospel. And it's a beautiful wedding.
Oh, God, I'd lose my shit. And the fact
I thought I got married.
The thing is like she looks at her now husband and goes, "Oh my God, did you do this?" And he's like, "No, no."
And so it's like,
and so you're like, the most romantic thing at my wedding wasn't even planned by the dude I'm marrying.
Yeah.
Like all of the romance from your wedding has been injected by a third party dude.
You know what? She looks like she's a busy lifestyle-esque person, right? And so does he.
It comes off like she's supposed to be like a clothing designer of some sort, because she has like
fashion.
swatches behind her and a few things.
She's sometimes
fashion.
You can call it a hobby. Maybe it's a lifestyle. Again, I don't love this storyline. I don't love this storyline. I don't love Andrew Lincoln in this. I don't love how it ends in a weird way. Like,
oh, the ending of that storyline is my least favorite. And I know it's supposed to be the cutest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's not cute.
It's not.
It's not cute.
The signs.
This is so fucked up.
The signs are kind of fucking creepy.
The signs are not only creepy. What would you have done if your best friend had answered the door?
I don't know. I'm the hopeless romantic. I probably would have just ran.
Okay, John Cusack with the boombox.
But that's a good point, though. Just to clarify, we both love. I love a good meet cute.
Oh, I love a good meet cute.
Romance.
And I will say,
love a good naughty film.
I still swoon when I see this, because like at the end of the day, every little girl like wants someone. And I think every person wants someone to love them that much that they're willing to blow up their whole life for them.
Right.
Everybody wants that.
Man, that's
in theory. You don't really want it though. Like, and you don't expect it to happen. Like,
God, imagine if like you're the one just shows up at your door and you're already married, you have 2 kids, whatever. Yeah. What do you do? Because you hear about it all the time.
Does my partner do equal work around the house? And would my dream person do the equal work around the house? Or am I stuck with invisible labor forever?
Or sorry. I don't know why this came up. How long after the wedding do you think he came and did all those signs? Because remember, we're in Christmas time already.
Yeah, and she was not wearing a warm dress for her wedding, and they also left on a boat. It's England. That's a frigid bitch in the winter.
Makes you wonder
what that timeline starts at. You know,
because there is a time during the wedding where you're like, do I have any objections? You think the guy who took care of the whole wedding would have had an objection?
You would think that like anyone with a brain who would like witness this, and like the fact that his best friend is like, oh, be nice to her.
Right.
Sir.
First of all,
I feel like he's been nicer to her than you have.
Yeah. For all we know.
But he's so self-centered, he just thinks it's all about him. Yeah. He probably thinks that he's in love with him.
He probably, Probably.
And that's probably why Wool.
And in terms of like screen time and stuff, and I know I'm gonna butcher the name. It's Edgerford, right? Is the last name? I forget how to pronounce it. But his screen time's pretty minimal in this
It's
movie.
very minimal. It's definitely the focus on the other.
Right, but yet his roles are very specific to like the establishment of Mark as a character.
Yeah.
Right? So it makes you wonder, it's like, okay, if we have to trust him to trust this guy, we never fucking see him. Now I'm thinking maybe he was a little gay. I don't know.
In their defense, I personally believe everyone is a little gay.
Absolutely.
So, but so my thing with that whole ending of their storyline, so you do the cards, right? You do the cards. It's moving. Of course she's moved. He's already gotten her to lie to her spouse. And then she runs after him and kisses him.
I know.
And he's like, enough, as he walks away. And you're supposed to believe that that's just the end of it.
Hell no.
There's no way. There's
oh my
no
gosh, that marriage
hasn't
hasn't even been consummated yet.
Yeah.
She's thinking about it. Yeah.
She's thinking, it's about to be a Kardashian wedding if I've ever seen one. Just like 72 hours by.
Oh.
Because like I can't imagine it. Like me personally, if I'm with someone.
Yeah.
No. I don't even want another option on the table. I don't want someone to look at me that way.
Yeah.
I'm like very protective and I'm very loyal of people that I'm dating.
Yeah.
Loyal to.
I want to be with someone so hard that I don't need to answer that door.
That I could be like, you know what? I'm actually really comfy on the couch.
Yeah, I'm chilling. It's
I'm
cold
actually having
outside.
the best time.
Yeah, I'm
sitting
newly
on the couch
married. Why the fuck am I gonna answer this door?
Yeah.
This is the assumption that it was pretty soon after the wedding. Have you?
Yeah. I mean, literally, like, can you imagine, like, just a little bit after your wedding, you're fucking kissing some random asshole?
I mean, not random.
Not random.
But
anyone, I'm sorry, when you're kissing someone you're married, it doesn't matter. They're random.
I dated someone that was like, oh yeah, kissing's fine. I, of course, never really understood that.
So wild. We had a different idea of what was acceptable and what was not acceptable. That's why we aren't together anymore.
maybe we're coming at it wrong. Maybe it's normal.
I understand. I have a lot of friends who are into polygamy and into like non-monogamy and ethical non-monogamy, and power to them.
Totally.
I'm all for it. If I'm in like a phase where I don't want to be dating like one person, but that's like casually dating versus like seriously dating. I think absolutely go for it. I get jealous. I can't do it. If you were like, oh, hey, baby, I'm going on a date tomorrow night with this other girl, I would be up that girl's Instagram. Where were we?
So I think to like wrap that point up, right? The timeline is sus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Timeline's
the friendships are sus. And you and I both know she is not stopping it at that kiss.
There's no way that she's stopping at that kiss. You've just found out that this man is the most romantic man you've ever had in your entire life.
Everything you wanted to be. Surprising you at your wedding.
Mm-hmm. And top it all off, you've thought he's hated you this whole time. Then you find out he's just loved you so much that he's literally told you it's a defense mechanism. I mean, be still my beating fucking heart. I would fucking fall on his dick on accident. I think I'm in love
just hearing it, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's actually so endearing.
That's growth.
It's growth, baby. You went from hating me to like, I'm suddenly all you could ever live for?
Man, talk about being a hopeless romantic.
So let's get back. Bill Nighy.
Love him.
In this movie.
Saint.
Amazing.
Yeah.
He is by far my best character. Him and his manager are the cutest fucking relationship of all time.
Oh yeah.
Because like as someone who's like worked in that industry, like I've seen those types of relationships between artists and their managers.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah. It really is. It really do be like that. Like, and I love his honesty.
Yeah.
It's so heartwarming.
And in terms of relationships, I think that's the strongest relationship in the movie.
Oh yeah, because they've literally been together forever.
Yeah.
He's seen him through his like heroin phase.
At his worst, his best.
At his worst, his best. He's seen him for richer, for poor.
Yeah.
They've actually been married.
I was gonna say
That's
took
basically
vows.
a wedding.
They took vows a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Man. That's what that contract actually was.
I mean,
which is all marriages, honestly, but.
And I know it's kind of hard to like recut a movie, right? Like you could recut any movie and you'd be like, oh, it's a much better storyline if we do it this way. Like his stuff is just so detached from the movie because we don't look at it as a relationship, as a meet cute, as a loving.
Mm-hmm.
We don't look at that partnership at all, but we love it because it's funny.
Yeah.
But this guy's
because
dying.
it brings some levity to the whole film where you're like, and like the best part is like having his like music play through other scenes.
Right.
And like, you know, the like other characters
I'm so glad
are like,
you said that, by the way.
Are like giggling. They're like, hee hee hee, this silly little song. Because there's that scene with Mia, the slutty receptionist.
Mm-hmm.
I hate her. I hate her so much.
Why?
Okay.
Why do you hate Mia? What did she do wrong?
What did Emma Thompson do to her?
I don't know what you're talking about. I probably zoned out during the movie, so I have no idea.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So crazy. I don't know what she did.
I'm not defending anybody right
now. Okay, so there's that scene where Mia has, first of all, what psychopath in an office environment is blaring a stereo system?
I wish I could introduce you to my office mates. And I hope most of them end up watching this.
I'm sorry.
I know. I'm with you though.
I'm a headphone girly.
Totally
I don't need you to know what I'm listening to. Honestly, I'd prefer it if you didn't. If you listen to my weird true crime stories, you'd probably cry yourself to sleep at night.
Do you remember when headphones used to tell people, please don't talk to me?
Oh my God. And now it's like, hey.
Yeah.
Hey, talk to me. Fuck you. I have my AirPods in.
I'm so sorry. Me on this public transport right now, I'm not friendly.
That's so crazy. It's almost like these meant go fuck yourself. I'm sorry, do you know?
My bad.
My bad. I'm sorry. The decals must have worn off that said "Do not fucking disturb."
My hair must be covering it.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Do you not see the AirPods? I can't.
So, okay, but sorry, Bill Nye, the levity to the movie.
but it brings a lot of levity to the movie, and it makes you really happy. And also, I love that it's a subtle dig at boy bands at the time. Because the Blue Kids, I mean. We all know. Do you think it was NSYNC or Backstreet Boys that they were taking a shot at? I think it was NSYNC.
I think it would have to be NSYNC.
Because
and the only reason
Justin Timberlake would be shitty enough to say the shit that the Blue was saying.
I can imagine a world where like who else? Like what would the Backstreet? I think were they ever an issue even in our time?
I mean, weren't they just vibing?
They were just chilling.
I met Nick Lachey. He's a really nice
dude. The whole like. They know what they were doing, and NSYNC was just trying to play it, so I can see where they're like,
yeah,
they're trying to take a stab at them.
It's not an NSYNC girly.
I'm trying to think also the time frame. I want to label the 7 things I know for a fact Justin Timberlake was doing in the early 2000s that weren't great, but neither
Britney Spears.
That poor girl.
That poor girl. She's been through so much.
She deserves
free Britney
to be
forever.
To let go of that.
Oh God, I really want to read her book. Anyways, that's a sidebar for a different time. I'm
ready. I think should we talk about something positive?
No.
Okay.
I have to say one thing about
ready.
Mia. Okay, like yes, Alan Rickman's character should have known better. There's no situation where you as an employer should be fucking or it's Mark.
It's okay, baby.
It's Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. So there is no situation at all where you should be fucking your assistant. No situation.
What if you're a powerful entrepreneur?
No.
With a broken marriage.
No.
And instead of focusing your time and efforts on that, you found this release. You don't think?
No. Go anywhere else.
I'm just checking. Let me try another way. What if they had that conversation off screen and he misunderstood what open meant?
The amount of men that I have in my life that are like, no, I don't think it'd be a problem. Like, babe, it's gonna be an issue.
Problem, yeah. The fact that we're talking about it is an issue.
Listen, okay, that storyline breaks my heart so
Every
much
time.
because when she unwraps that Joni Mitchell CD,
I was like,
I'm tearing up just thinking about it.
The first time I saw it, I was like, there's no way he's gifting that to her, to someone, to Mia. There's no way.
You're thinking, maybe
part of me.
Moo, go this way. Come on, this way. Maybe he's like wised up, right? Maybe. No, he's not. And I love Alan Rickman.
And he sneaks away to buy it too, and the movie sets
Mr.
you
Bean.
up. You're like, and that whole thing, and like
he has like the best cameos of the whole situation. He's at the airport.
He's a goddamn gem.
The airport when he makes the distraction, you're like, oh, that's the most Mr. Bean shit of all time.
Hides it, the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh my god,
Let's get into it. Harry. Alan Rickman. Now, this is a segment where we definitely will talk about dating profiles and who these people are, and we're going to get into that. But let's just talk about, where does he fail you? Because the gift happens later.
He fails me when he even entertains it. Honestly, you know where he fails me? When he pulls aside, what is her name?
Not me.
Sarah. Sarah. He pulls aside Sarah, and it is like,
you gotta get on.
You gotta get on with Carl.
Own your shit. Yeah. Get him.
And I'm literally like, what's going on in British offices?
But see, at that time, and I apologize,
because they're kind of like that in the holiday too.
So at that time, though, well, I guess we spend half the time in the United States and half the time in England, right?
In the holiday? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, now I'm thinking about the holiday now. Yeah, hold on.
Sorry.
No. So yeah, the part, let's just get back to the question. The part that really upsets me the most with him is when I don't know if it was deliberate, maybe I interpret the scene differently, but like when she is kind of like saying, hey, we're clearly not connecting. She's clearly asking for some type of like, are you still here?
A lifeline.
Anything. And he meets it with the same kind of meh.
Well, and I think that's true of like a lot of like marriages, like especially like if you've been in it for so long, is like, oh, you're just a constant and I don't need to work for you anymore.
Yeah, that's the biggest message with any love, right? And any relationship. And that's where these movies fail us. They stop, I mean, with the exception of a few, which we'll get into, but like they stop after the
after the big moment.
Yeah, but then we go back to Keira Knightley and what's it called, Mark, and like technically that did continue after the moment, right? Like the wedding wasn't the moment then.
No, the wedding was not the moment,
right? At
all. The wedding was just like, and like the thing is too is like you don't know all the other stuff that he did beforehand for her either,
right?
And it, like
lack thereof, even, yeah.
Oh yeah, and I think and then you have Colin Firth, his character, who is just like another person who's stuffing their employee.
Okay. First of all, it's one of my favorite storylines. Yeah, it is up there for me.
Okay, I will say,
because it's romantic.
I do think that it is very cute that they have like that language barrier, and they're like still falling in love despite.
And the whole like them going to class, and he goes to class, and she's in class, and then that's the work. That's the work. That's two people who like they never like decided that that's what they were gonna do. They did it on their own, and then they came together. And I do think it's really, really funny that her sister is like, my father's trying to sell Aurelia to this man. Oh yeah,
and the whole town walks out with them.
Yeah,
I think it's so fun, and. Hi, Will.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, shoot. We have a 1.
Oh, cool. It's all right. We can do this. We can wrap it another day.
It's 9 minutes. Sorry.
I pushed away from you.
No. Let's just kind of come up with a cut. Let's just come up with an end right now.
Oh, we didn't do it. Well, we can do a mini for the Hinge profiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just like,
I think we just do a second follow. Yeah. We'll continue.
Hey, come here.
Taking a break here with Moo Bark at 12:51. But we are going to finish this one last thought.
Yeah. But I do believe Moose. Sorry.
I can cut Moose out. Don't worry.
I do really think that this movie ultimately is really fun to watch.
I do too.
And I do want to say that I do love it. I do have a deep love in my heart for it, but I do think that it is extremely problematic upon rewatching. And there are some things that I just hate.
Yeah.
And people that I hate. But I hate a lot of people in every movie.
And I do strongly think that after rewatching and seeing it as many times as I have, and through the course of my own relationships in life, I do think there are points to connect for each character. But at the end of the day, am I attacking the movie? Am I attacking the character? Am I attacking the scene? I don't really know yet. I just know that the movie still makes me upset.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still going to watch it.
Same.
I'm still going to watch it
every time.
It's just
9 o'clock at night.
Oh my God. Is it time
for Love Actually? For Love Actually.
No, I mean, absolutely. And I do think that ultimately it is a movie that we're going to have around for a really long time.
I have a feeling we're going to reference it forever.
We are going to reference it forever. And there will always be those kind of vignette stories that are being told because of it on top of that.
Yeah.
And I do think that there's just beautiful writing in the fact that you can hate these characters, but also still love them and root for them the whole time.
Absolutely.
And so like kudos to the whole team that made the film.
Yeah. Except
for the fact that they also have done a musical now. And I think that that's too far.
Can't wait to see it.
I'm going to hate it.
Well, Demi, I can't wait to continue this conversation.
Same.
I'm so excited for part 2 of Love Actually and Love at First Mic.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Thanks.